Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys can hear me okay. There was a message on one of my previous videos about what are we telling our daughters because some of their relationships may not work out when it comes to living on one income. I have a daughter, she's 21. Everything is so expensive, and it's hard to live on one salary. True enough, totally get it. But if you're in that relationship, you have to live on both salaries. It's about being good stewards over your money. It's about knowing I cannot spend this, even though I may want it, but I cannot. It's about living within your means. But a lot of us, we don't live within our means, my daughter included. When we're telling our daughters, okay, you have a great job, you can afford to live on your own. Now you meet a man and y'all want to move. So now you have to have two salaries because y'all may want a bigger place. You may want to live in a different area, and there is nothing wrong with that. But you've got to be willing to sacrifice. That's the key, too. You've got to be willing to sacrifice. I cannot eat out every day. We have to meal prep. We have to freaking go buy some rotisserie chicken and go buy some broccoli and make some potatoes. It's about living within your means. There's a lot of people today, you have to live on both salaries. But you've got to figure out, okay, let's make a budget. Let's make a plan. A lot of people today don't make plans. A lot of people today are thinking about the right now. I have a 21-year-old. I have a 27-year-old. I have a 25-year-old. And they think about right now. You can't think about just right now. You got to think about your future. So what I only not only just tell my daughter, but I try to tell all of my kids, and I try to tell some of the young people who I that come into contact with me and asking me about financial advice. It's living within your means. It's not about going out every morning buying breakfast. You cannot spend $10 a day on breakfast. It is too expensive. You've got to learn how to make it work. That could be making some egg burritos on your own, going to buy a pack of burritos, buy your eggs, buy you some sausage, cook them, and make your own burritos for the week. Hell, for 30 days, put them in the freezer. You got to put in the sacrifice. And if you're not willing to sacrifice, it ain't going to work. You've got to be willing to put in the hard now so you can play later. That's the key. Some can say, "Oh, it's easier said than done." Okay, not eating breakfast out every morning, not going out to dinner, getting on Pinterest, getting some recipes, making some casseroles. Food is expensive. Cutting back on your alcohol consumption. Sitting down, making a plan, writing it down, making it plain. If you're not willing to do that, it may not work. You've got to be on the same page. If one person is wanting to save and the other person wants to spend, you're going to have arguments. You're not going to have peace. You're going to have stress. Early on in our marriage, we did not eat out. We were not a eating out couple. When we decided to have kids, we paid for a babysitter. We went out maybe once a week or twice a month, whatever our budget could afford. Make a plan. What about our daughters? What are we telling our daughters? Telling our daughters to be good stewards over their money, to be good stewards of, maybe you cannot buy that designer bag. Maybe you cannot buy those designer boots. Being okay with what you have. Listen to your parents, especially if your parents are in a position that you wish, like, oh, one day I hope to be in you guys' position. So it's listening to your parents. A lot of young folks today don't want to listen to us. I have a 21-year-old, a 25, and a 27-year-old. We've done the mistakes. We want to try to help them avoid the mistakes. So when what we're telling our kids, most of them don't want to listen. Most of them feel like they know more than we do anyway. And if they did grow up with uh, a semi good life, they feel like everybody lives that way. That's not true. I have a 21, a 25, and a 27-year-old, and we constantly have to remind them everybody didn't get a car at 16. Everybody didn't have their own bedroom, their own bathroom. No, you guys were just blessed. So if you are a young couple out there and have to live on both incomes, write it down, make it plain. Sacrifice. Stay within your budget. Get a car within your budget. A lot of us go outside of our budget and it's putting a strain on us. So we got to tell our kids, live within your means. Today, a lot of people, they don't want to live within their means. They want to start off with the Mercedes. No, no, you probably got to start off with something less expensive and being okay with that. You got to grow. There's levels. We want to start here and go here, but you miss the in between. That's where the mistake come in. So what do we tell our young people? Live within your means. Make a plan and stick with it. So that's my advice. Make a plan, stick with it, live within your budget. This is coming from being married for 30 years, building together. This is coming from having 3 adult children. I'm here to tell you, listen to your parents. If your parents are doing great and they're in a position that they can give you some financial advice, some relationship advice, listen to them. Stop thinking you know everything. That's another tip. Mm-mm. Listen, listen, listen to wisdom. So thank you guys for watching. Until the next message, I'll talk to y'all later.